very different than when I do a regular meeting at work for Zoom, because I'm trying to get my cameras angled so that you can see the project, and I am trying to have my laptop available so I can maybe pay attention to people on here. Okay, so hopefully now you can hear me. Lydia, I think, is joining us, and I'm gonna just try to keep watching. I was trying to get it set up to where I could admit people on my computer, because for whatever reason, it won't allow me to just let anyone join. I have to have you in a waiting room and then admit you. So periodically you're gonna see me pop up and look at my camera at a weird angle from my phone, so that I can make sure there's no one in the waiting room. But I wanted to jump on and try to give us some sort of connection piece with Paper Pumpkin, since we are unfortunately dealing with coronavirus and we cannot meet in person. Many of the states and my subscribers across multiple states are sheltering in place. So I don't want you to miss out. So those of you who have your Paper Pumpkin kit, I'm going to do February and March. Do you know if I can do 2? If not, I'll be yours in a few minutes. Okay, that's fine. I don't know, someone's messaging me. You can follow along if you have your kit. If not, and you don't subscribe right now, you can text message me or call if you don't text. My number is right here, 816-785-1551. Text me and I will send you my direct link to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. I will also probably, as a courtesy, try to send everyone that link. And I'm also recording this with my video camera, so I'm hoping that I can send out a little bit different version for it, where it will be totally overhead and you can see the projects that way if you need more time to complete your projects or you need to walk through. Also, I may only have 40 minutes on this. It depends how many people join in. So if we don't get everything shown, I will keep recording it and send that on the regular video link as well. My goal is to show you 2 alternate projects from February's kit, 2 alternate projects from March, and then if we have time, I'm going to go back and try to make some of the projects from those kits as they are. So the first kit is February, and this is the projects as they come in the kit. So you have enough materials to do 3 different card styles, 3 of each. We're going to do 2 alternate projects, and I'm going to show you what those projects are. So let me grab my things right here, and I will show you the 2 alternate projects, and then we will kind of go through some tips and quick pieces to make them. I may not make them in full right now, just so that you can see how to do it. These are the 2 alternate projects I'm going to show. So this one is just using our favor bags that have the fun copper metallic print on them. Folding it down, you could put whatever in it, and this is just repurposing. This is part of a card that I've cut and made into a banner. This is one of the little labels that are on there. These are the fun foamy dimensional sayings that are that rose copper that comes in the kit. And this is the stamp. So this is what this stamp set looks like, and it's probably going to be hard to see it here, but you have a large flower, a slice of cake, some little flowers, different sayings, and some stripes that you could use to make candles or fill in on the icing. So a couple of tricks about this one that I'm going to show you with the black ink. Now, let me use my bigger block actually. is just on the coloring. And I am doing it on the shimmer, a piece of shimmer white cardstock. So remember, these alternate projects don't always have all of the materials from the kit. I do like to have as many of the materials from the kit be used and just use them in a different way or additionally. But for this, I just want to show you real quickly the blender pens on that. I am going to be using the 2 shades of Flirty Flamingo. Actually, the light Flirty Flamingo and the 2 shades of Rose Rococo Rose. I'm going to use Dark Petal Pink, and I am also going to be using the 2 shades of Old Olive, and those are in our blend pens. These are the alcohol-based pens. So for me, if you've come to class with me before, you know that I tend to use mainly my brush end. And I'm trying to check and make sure I don't have people waiting in the waiting room. This is a little tricky for me. It's like multitasking on steroids. So I'm just very lightly putting some color down on that. Very, very lightly. And then I'm going to go back over, and wherever I think it might be darker or less light is hitting the leaf, maybe in the veining or near the flower, whatever, however I want it, I just quickly go across there. And then I always come back over the top with a light color. Sometimes it's the same light color that I started with, like this green leaf one will be. Sometimes I do a completely different color. And that's what I'm going to show you next on the flower. So for the flower, I'm going to start with the Dark Petal Pink as my main color. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to just quickly do all the coloring. And do you see I'm not even really caring about in the lines, because I know for this project I'm going to cut it out. Checking. So, never fear if you cannot see or hear. Remember, I will be turning this into another video and I will send that link back out. Next, I'm going to come in and I'm going to use this. This is the light, I believe. Yes, the light Rococo Rose. And I'm kind of going to do it where I think there might be some shading. Again, I'm not being super perfect or worrying about this right yet. And it's really all about what you want. And now I'm going to come in with my light Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to go over all of it. Now in this one you can see different from the one already that I have laying there. I used a lot more of that Rococo Rose color on the other one than I did on this one. So this one's going to have a much pinker, peachier blush color. But I'm going over it with yet a different color, and some places I'll leave light and not. And then I'm going to use the very dark Rococo Rose. If I were leaving this and I wanted, I could do those berries. But I'm going to come back in and just shade a tiny bit more, just because I want it to have a little bit more definement in some places. And that's all that is. And then all I'm doing is cutting that out. I'm not going to take time to do that. I want to show you the other pieces from your kit. This was part of a card, one of the card bases that it came with. I merely trimmed it in half and trimmed it down, and then I banner cut that. And again, for my banner cutting, I just take my big scissors, my big paper cutting scissors. I cut halfway in the middle, and then I cut from the edge of the paper into that triangle. And it always makes a pretty good pennant cut for that. So that's how you get the pennant banner for that. And then you're going to just layer that rose right on top. And underneath of it, you're going to stick this little label. These were designed to stamp sayings on in the cards. I just merely took it and twisted it and made it be an extra pennant layer. Okay, so we have the pennant layer going on there. And then you would cut this out, and I've popped it up with some dimensionals. And all you do for the ending is put your lovely little treats in the bag, whatever you want. You can either put this on with some adhesive, like snail. Ooh, my snail was out on that one. So you can put some snail on it and adhere it that way. And then, of course, when I had this filled, I would maybe put some adhesive or staple there first to close it. And that's just a cute little alternate bag project that you can complete and do with many of the materials that come in the kit. All I added was the shimmer white paper. So if you have basic white paper, you can do that as well. So that's the first alternate project for that, for the February Lovely Day kit. The second one is using the crumb cake cardstock, which is extra. But I'm going to talk about these little pieces, and this one I'm really not going to put together very much. I'm just going to show you for time's sake how I made this. These are pieces cut from one of the other cards that come in there. You get the sequins with it, and I did add this white seam binding, whoops, and my little vellum, and my vellum. Now, quite honestly, I'm going to hold this up pretty close to the camera to see if you can see that vellum. It's very sheer. It looks great when you're the person receiving it. I don't know how great it films. But if you don't have the vellum, it's not a necessary piece. How I did that is I kept it straight edge and I literally tore it because I wanted that torn look along the bottom. The cards, I just cut them to the width that I wanted because they're already the right length over here for the card, and I'm just layering those on. When I piece them together, I use the white crinkle seam binding, which I love. However, due to the coronavirus, right now this ribbon is not available. It is still coming in from a factory that's outside of the US, and it's back ordered. But you can use a different ribbon. You could use twine if you have some of the baker's twine from another kit. We also have actually I have a piece laying out here. It's very wide, but you could adjust your paper strips and you could use this wide striped petal pink organdy ribbon. I'm using that on a March card. But I love this seam binding. It is one that I recommend everyone having as a good white ribbon. This one I like because you can color it with your blends, your blend pens, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. To do that, you just merely take that brush tip of the blend pen and you color over it. And because they're alcohol markers, it allows it to dye the ribbon and it allows it to dry quickly. This ribbon is really nice because the color goes through both sides. It's nice and thin. And just like that, you can buy one roll of ribbon, one bolt of this white seam ribbon. And if you have any colors of the blends, every color of blend you have, you now have every color of ribbon. So when you're layering those on, for this card, I've merely taken crumb cake ink, stamped that flower up here in the corner and down here in this corner. I stamped the birthday in black right above after I put my papers on. So in other words, when you start building this card, you're going to stamp first. Pretend that I've stamped. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll use just whatever black ink is still on there. So it's going to show up a little bit more. I like the crumb cake because it's a nice monochromatic, softer look. But for the essence of time on this Zoom meeting, I'll use that. Then you're just layering and you're just doing it with your snell and it comes together pretty quickly. I always tell people the most time-intensive part of making a card is designing it. Once I get the design, it goes together pretty well. Again, this was that piece from another card in the kit. If you look, it's from this card here. Both of these pattern pieces are from this particular card. And the raspberry piece that we used on that banner, pennant banner on the bag, is from this other card over here. So we've got that piece, and then you're just layering this piece on, my little sequins or starry things. And the purpose of this ribbon would be just to have something kind of fill that void where the two pieces of pattern paper come together. And then I also added another piece that was a bow, okay? The last thing you're gonna do is take some of the sequins that come in the kit. They're all this lovely shades of little pinks. And you just randomly put them on wherever you want. You can use, those are perfect to put on with our Tombow multi-liquid glue. You can also put them on with glue dots. Whatever adhesive you prefer for putting sequins, working with sequins is the best. Because these sequins are loose. They're not the self-adhesive. So these sequins are loose. But that is that. This is this final project here. I'm going to move this up a little bit closer so you can see it. And then I'll lay that. And I'm going to show you one more project just since we have time. I'm not even going to talk about it really. But this is another alternate project I made from this kit. And it uses pieces that are reinvented from this middle card. So I will have pictures of all those, solid photograph pictures and video links so that you can follow along and see how to make those step by step. All right, I know that was pretty quick and I know it may be pretty intense. So if you do have any questions, feel free to text them to me, message me on Facebook. My stamping page is, if you Google on Facebook, if you search for Shannon Miller Sizzlen Stamper, you'll find me on Facebook as well.